realized that we were being groomed for one another.
We knew we needed an extraordinary love to withstand past relationship experiences, everyday bad choices, and our past hurts.
It is clear that we were brought together as one for a purpose. And as we share our love story, we pray that from our experiences, you can gain positive takeaways to use in your own life and relationship.
Hello, good evening, good evening, everybody. Let me angle this down just a little bit. There's a pretty wall back there, baby. Hello, everybody. We're back. We are back. Yes. Conversations with the LoveByrds. I'm William Bird.
Hey
my lovely
guys,
wife.
I'm Darlene Bird. We're the LoveByrds. Together we love people and we love love.
And we love you.
And
hey,
we love you.
Come on in here. Come on in.
We are so excited.
Do some housekeeping.
Yes.
Let me do some housekeeping. Share my story. Share and like. Feel Good Talk. Share and like Conversations with the LoveByrds. Go to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Always going to start out with that.
Hello, everybody. Housekeeping.
Yes.
All right.
Doing some housekeeping. Don't mind me.
So we are so happy to be back with you tonight.
Yes.
And guess what?
Yes. Well, we've been doing it again.
But guess what?
What's that, baby?
It is, hey, Chuck, guess what?
What is that?
This is our podcast-versary.
Yes, this is our podcast-versary.
I forgot to tell
1
that.
year.
It is our podcast-versary.
Yes.
So it's been 1 year since we've been kind of pulling back the covers.
Congratulations, honey.
Baby.
Yeah.
A year.
I can't
It's
believe
been
it.
fun.
It's been a year. It's been fun. It's been informative. It's been, oh man, it's just so much stuff.
We talk all the time to each other. So we just let y'all
a lot of stuff.
Let y'all know what's on our minds, what's in our hearts.
Yep.
We kind of share some of the things that we do. Just wanting everybody to kind of level up their relationship.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we've shared something over the year that's been helpful for you.
Yep.
And we're glad that you're stuck in there with us. It's been a great year.
It's been a great
year.
Met a lot of new friends. Met a lot of new people here.
Yes.
Ty Ricks was one of them.
Yes. Podcast-versary.
Of course, Chuck is one of them, man.
Yes. The whole Feel Good Talk family. It's been an incredible year.
Yes.
Hopefully you're tuning in to our family. Our family has grown, but the thing I like best is you're going to get positive substance.
Absolutely.
From Feel Good Talk. So hopefully you've been joining in with us and with the others on Feel Good Talk Radio. So
yes,
so good to have everybody.
Yes, we are so happy.
We've been busy.
Following us, staying with us.
Hey, Amy, love you.
Hey, Amy.
Yeah, an incredible run.
Yes.
It's been an incredible run.
Yes.
And I encourage you to go back and look at some of the past podcasts, some of the topics. We've talked about lots of things. We've talked about win-win relationships. We've talked about emotional calls. We've talked about green flags,
red flags,
how to manage conflict, a win-win communications. We've talked about win-win sex. We're talking about building up that bank account, emotional bank account with each other.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God. We talked about green flags in a relationship. We did a little assessment with green flags in a relationship.
Yes.
We just have some really good conversations.
Fact finding.
Yeah,
that fact finder was really good.
Remember we brought some guests on who were still in love or finding love later
in life. Yep.
Yes.
It was amazing. Just
back to love. Maybe they were separated and they came back together. We just love love.
This thing called love.
And we love relationships.
Mysterious, amazing thing called love.
And we are lifelong learners in this thing called love.
Yes,
but hey, so we want to talk about one of the number one relationship
back to those
hacks.
Yes.
So we have
those facts and figures.
Yeah.
We love facts and figures.
We do. We've been putting love under the microscope forever.
Thanks for joining.
And we like to study people who also put love under the microscope.
Yep.
We like facts and figures. We like to find out what the outcomes are of some of the studies that are done on love. I mean, we're always chasing love. Nobody has the answer on love.
No.
Nobody's got it on lock. And we don't have it on lock.
No.
But we have some best practices that have keep it right and keep
We're
it
not
tight.
the experts.
Then we did one
like
on
to
keep
do
it
what
right,
the
keep it
experts
tight.
say.
Then we
Yes.
did a show on keep it right,
keep
keep it right, keep it tight.
Yes.
Keep it right, keep it
We're not
tight.
the experts, but we love to see what the experts say.
Yes.
That's the best,
absolutely
best way to.
Hey,
go about
Renee.
this.
Hopefully, we'll see your cousin.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah. So hey. So we're back, and we're going to talk about the number one relationship hack, right?
The number one relationship hack.
So just a little backdrop.
You're giving me some great number ones over there.
We have.
Too.
We have.
Yep.
So just a little backdrop. So there was a study done. Another study. We like studies. 40,000 couples, right?
50 years.
Over 50 years.
Over 50 years.
They were coming into this lab, and they were being observed.
Mm-hmm.
And from observation, they were able to predict with 94% accuracy whether the relationship would last.
Exactly.
94%.
94%.
Right? So they kind of discovered a hack. And I mean, 94% is pretty good.
Yes.
If you can predict something 94%
of the time,
let me know. Because I'm betting with you. I'm betting with you.
Yes.
And so they were able to predict the number one relationship hack that they were able to gather just from watching people come in the lab. I wonder if you can guess what it is. Anybody have any guesses?
Anybody got any guesses what the number one relationship hack was?
Huh? If you have any ideas, type it in the comments. What do you think it was that they were able to observe?
Yes.
They were able to observe people in a lab over the years. And it was something that they could visually see that that was a determinant.
Yes.
So what do you guys think it was? Do you have any ideas?
Anybody have any ideas? 94%. That's right, Amy. 94%.
94%
really
is pretty good.
Yes. Yes.
94%.
I mean, 50 years. You imagine 50 years, and over 50 years of this study, 40,000 couples.
All right.
So that 94%, that's a lot.
They're onto something.
They were onto
something with 94%.
Yes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anybody have any guesses or ideas for what that relationship hack was? We'll give you a second.
A couple more seconds. Anybody came up with anything? Nobody said anything yet. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to give it to you. You're going to get it from the LoveByrds. We're going to give it to you tonight. And you know what? It's kind of interesting because it's one of the things that we kind of did. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we do or that we finding out that we've done kind of lines up with the experts, and we kind of did a lot of them without, we did them by ourselves.
When we didn't know
when we didn't know
nothing.
We did them and we implemented them because it just seemed right.
It seemed right.
It sounded right. It seemed right.
Not just that though.
What is it?
I think it was the whole idea of also. I know I was very cautious in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was the whole trying to build a strong and solid foundation for us. And like, if we're going to do this,
that's right.
We need to get an A, because if we're not going to have like the best marriage,
we're going to do this with
you can miss me. We're not even going to do this.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
So it was that trying to make sure that we had a solid foundation. Amy said, give it to us. Amy don't like to be teased. She don't like to be teased. We teasing her. She like, look, come on with it.
Give it to you.
Okay, y'all want to know what it was?
The number one relationship.
You want to know what it was?
It's a good. I mean,
you gonna tell me what we tell?
Yeah, I can tell them. The number one relationship hack. And we did this we covered this in one of our previous podcasts. It was along the same lines. It was similar. It was behind the same study. It had the same component. Let me say that. It had the same component. And the number one relationship hack was called turning towards.
And
we're going to explain
the number one relationship hack is turning towards.
We're going to go over that with you guys and give you an explanation of what that means.
Turning towards. Did they turn towards each other?
Yes.
Did they turn toward each other? How often did they turn toward each other?
Yes.
So when couples
So there was 3 ways you could
Wait a second.
approach a response.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Great. Because
I was going to say,
yeah,
that turning towards. I wanted to sit there for just a second.
Okay.
We're going to go to the 3 because that's
very
important.
Yeah, because I think
But
they need to know that
when they turn toward each other, you're making and responding what this study called a bid. A bid for connection.
Yeah.
Now you may remember that we did a podcast not too long ago, and we called it. We were in an emotional quotient, emotional series.
Call. Yeah, emotional.
We called it emotional calls, and we were like, "Oh, we're throwing emotional balls at each other, or we're tossing." But we ended up calling, I think, emotional calls that are sent thousands of times a day. Thousands of times a day.
Yes. You send your partner 1,000 times.
Somebody said
emotional calls. What would they say?
We got another.
What would they say, baby?
What if they have morning breath? Then you know what? When you turn toward them, you bring some toothpaste with you, and you or mint, and put this in your mouth.
It's nothing wrong with suggesting
help them out.
A little mouthwash.
Yeah, help them out. Help them out. Here you go, baby. Here you go, baby. You need this. You need. Yes, you do.
Yes, before you call anything or say anything, take this.
So, turn it when a couple turns toward each other, they're making and responding to what the LoveByrds called emotional calls, or those emotional balls that are being thrown all day long. Emotional calls, emotional balls are being thrown. And in our
Explain
study,
what emotional call or emotional ball may be.
So I might say, and you heard me say, Did you respond? Yes or no?
Yeah. So me, I was like, what you thinking about, baby? What did that?
Hey, Melody.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Or it could be a sigh.
Yes.
Now you heard me sigh.
Right.
Did you acknowledge it?
Yes.
Or not?
Very good. That's
right?
a good one.
It could be a
call from across.
Hey, you have a minute? Yeah, you got a minute? Or hon?
Yes. Hon.
And do you stop what you're doing to respond? That was a call. That was a literal call.
Yes.
But those things are bids for connection is what they were called in this study. We call emotional calls. And we gave stats on that, right? It was that couples who lasted long times answered that call
about 84% of the time. I think it was.
It was almost 9 out of 10 times.
It was almost 9 out of 10 times.
Almost 9 out of 10 times.
The couples that
couldn't last
did it about 33% of the time.
About 3 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and
7 of those calls and balls were missed or dropped.
Yes.
7 out of 10.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yes. That's not good. And I tell you why. It's just because it's called value. Okay, type value in the comments. Value.
Yes.
Type value in the comments. Hey, Ro.
Hey, Ro. Hey, that's my daughter. Hey, baby girl. Good to see you.
I love her.
Family, I love. Tell your son, Juana, say happy birthday, man.
Yeah. Type value in the comments. It's called value.
Value.
If you value something, you respond. It gets your attention. If you have a baby and that baby makes a noise, you're jumping. Right. But if your mate makes a noise, nothing.
Yes.
You don't hear it. You don't hear the call.
You
don't respond. So the number one relationship hack was called turning toward, right? And I'm gonna tell you, the number one relationship hack is a simple act. That's gonna be my quote all night long. The number one relationship hack is a simple act. It's called turning towards.
Yes.
Right?
Very good.
The happiest couples are savvy enough to notice when their partner is throwing an emotional ball, when they're throwing out a bid, and they drop what they're doing and engage because of value. Because of value. And if you're not getting that engagement, there's something missing in the value department.
So they're valuing their partner, or are they valuing the issue? What are they valuing?
They're not valuing the relationship enough to engage in it.
Okay, so
to catch that ball,
so the value
to notice
comes in the relationship.
Their mind is somewhere else. They're preoccupied, or maybe they're worried about themselves, or they just don't care enough, or don't want to take the time but it's the issue of value. It's a value issue.
Right.
So, babe, you were going to talk about the three different ways.
Yes.
There are three different ways of responding to these calls, right? So, for example, a call could be, you might be you might be looking on your phone,
right?
And you'll say, "Oh, that was interesting." Okay, and I heard you say, "Okay, that was interesting."
Now, how did you
There's
respond?
There's three ways to respond.
There's three ways to respond.
Right?
So the first one would be to, of course, acknowledge and turn towards me. Acknowledge and say something like, "What are you looking at, baby?" Or what's so interesting? Or make a comment that would actively engage us in conversation or make us connect. The idea is to make us connect.
Right. So turning toward what I'm hearing you say sounds like acknowledge. Just first of all, just acknowledging, just responding, or engaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That would be turning towards.
Okay, that's turning towards. That's number one.
That's the acknowledgement and the value.
Okay.
Then there's turning away. Now, turning away, you're actively ignoring, you're just not noticing their attempt to engage with you. So you're not, basically, once again, you're not responding, or you're not actively engaging with them. So that's turning away.
So that ball was thrown. And you just did nothing. You did nothing. Missed it or stepped aside.
No, you actively. It was done actively. Other than, subconsciously.
You kind of heard it.
You heard it. You just didn't respond to it.
So instead of turning toward, that's turning away. Yeah. It just ignoring and just not noticing or just not responding.
Right.
So that's that missed. That's that missed ball. Okay.
So then there's turning against. Okay. Now, turning against is a little more violent. I won't say violent, but a little more. What word I want to use in that? It's a little more egregious. Let's say that because you're
irritated.
You're irritated. It irritates you just to even engage with your partner. So that's another recipe for disaster.
So if you're scrolling through your phone, right?
Yes.
And you say, that was interesting.
Yes.
So by turning toward, I could catch that ball and say, what was interesting?
Yes.
I want to know what interests you.
Right.
I want to care. I want to value. I want to connect, and let's share that thing.
Right.
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 Turning away is just no response.
No response. Just ignoring the call. I don't feel like it right now, or whatever. And then.
Turning
against would be something like, say, for instance, like you said, you're scrolling on your phone. Turning against would be like, oh gosh, you're always on your phone. You're always on Facebook, or you're, that kind of, you're always looking at your phone, or
can't you say I'm busy right now?
Can't you say I'm busy
or not now? Yeah, not now. Later.
Not now. Later.
Right. Yes. So it's like a disinterest, or or something else.
But there's that element of negativity and into the situation.
So something else is more valuable at the minute, at that moment, right?
Versus your.
So there's three ways to respond. You can turn towards,
you can turn away,
or you can turn against.
Yes.
Toward, away, and against. You can type those in the comments. Turn toward, away, or against. Toward, away, or against. Yes. And you know what? Just from observing couples coming into a lab or coming in, they were able to predict with 94% accuracy whether that relationship would last. Just by observing. Or were they turning toward each other?
If they were turning towards you. So I think one of the studies that they asked them to come in and try to solve some a conflicting issue or something like that. Is that how that went?
Oh yeah. Wait.
Yeah. I forgot.
I think they gave them 15 minutes or something.
15 minutes to
deal with an issue.
Yeah.
And they had to try to solve it in 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think that's how they came up with the numbers on that.
Yeah, that was something else that we were looking at.
They turned towards each other and tried to solve the conflict. Did one of them take sides and didn't let the partner, express their their feelings or their sentiment on the issue,
Uh-huh.
or did they just both basically just implode or explode and not even tackle the conflict at all?
Yeah.
Which would be turning against, turning towards, and then
that happens sometimes.
Yes,
but what do you do with that though? I mean, even with that,
mm-hmm.
you got to come back and make it right, and you can't do that too often, right? We talked about those deposits and withdrawals.
Yes.
You keep doing that too much, or not dealing with it, you ended up negative.
And imagine the experts say that this stuff happens like a couple hundred times. Now they say thousands.
Yeah.
They say in a relationship, if you're with your partner all day, this happens like literally 1,000 times a day. Your partner either looks at you and smiles. That's an emotional call.
Mm-hmm.
They look at you and smile, or they look at you and
there's a whole lot of things that you can do to kind of pick up. We'll share more. We'll talk about those because it's important to talk about those, because sometimes you'll miss it.
You'll miss them.
But turning toward is the number one relationship hack. Turning towards each other. Mm-hmm. Do they turn toward each other?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do they turn away from each other?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or do they turn against each other?
Right.
But turning towards builds affection and a sense of teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
It helps relationships to get through conflict, and even helps relationships to overcome some outside distractions, because it's like we're here.
Right.
Like we can stop what we're doing and we can be here, be on the same page, and we can connect, right? It builds affection. It also strengthens the foundation. Remember, we talked about, we were just doing things to make sure that our foundation would be strong, we were rock solid, that we were building something that would last, that we were honest about everything. Yeah. Honest about what we're not finished with. Honest about the things we didn't want to let go of. Just honest, right? So making sure the foundation was strong so that you can have a lasting relationship. Right. Turning toward, it's the relationship hack. It's just a simple act. Yeah. It's just a simple act, right?
Doesn't cost anything.
And it's impossible to always turn toward. Yeah. True. But again, couples who stay together for 6 years or more turn toward each other 86% of the time. Yeah. Almost 9 times out of 10. I hear you call me. I hear you now. I hear you calling out. Yes. Emotionally, and I'm responding. Yes. I hear you calling out and I'm responding.
That has a lot to do with those. Does that have a lot to do with needs being met?
Yeah. It's needs. It's emotional. It's more emotional needs, though. You know, that you get a sense of security if you feel like somebody genuinely cares about your emotions. If you're hurt and they're not hurt, right? Or they don't feel that. And if you get tight enough, you can catch it. You can catch it before it gets to them. Yeah. For example, I can hear somebody say something, and because I know you, I know how that's going to land with you.
Okay. Yeah, I know that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because of the emotional connection. Right. The connection, right? Yes. Because you're emotionally connected.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So and turning toward and saying, I know, I heard that too. Right. It must make you feel blank. Right. Right. Exactly. So that whole turning towards each other is just so key. Yes. Right. And we talked about that in one of our prior podcasts about those emotional balls. They're thrown all day long.
Can you be proactive in? Can something you can be proactive in, like anticipating?
Yeah.
That emotional call.
Let's do that. Let's get a little bit practical. Let's talk about how.
Yeah. Right.
Is that where you're going?
Exactly. Okay. Thank you.
How do you turn towards each other in your relationship?
Can I tell you my one great way that I kind of turn towards you is like taking that daily temperature reading. Like, and I get up in the morning and before I leave, it's always, baby, what is on the to-do list? What do I kind of jump ahead of it. Yeah. I know there's some, spontaneous emotional calls, but I honestly believe that there's some calls that I can be like a robo dialer, and I can strike them before, you know what I mean?
Okay. So Y'all know the Lovebirds love
Yes.
a check-in, right?
Yes.
That's one of the things.
Yes.
We love a check-in. We love an assessment. We love give a rating to it. We love a brief, a debrief, all of that. The meeting before a meet, all that kind of stuff. We love that. So one of the things, and I think that's what you're hitting at, is that check-in.
Yes.
And in listening and responding. And let me tell you, this is what number one, this is what you do. You ask a simple question. Remember, the relationship hacks are a simple act.
Yep.
This is the question. This is $1 million question.
We call them the cheat codes.
Write them down. Yeah, we used to call them cheat codes.
We used to call them cheat codes.
Write this down. This is the $1 million question.
Give it to him, baby. The $1 million question.
This is the $1 million question. Ladies, tell me if I'm wrong about this $1 million question. Is there anything you need from me today?
Yes.
Field goal. Is there anything you need from me today?
Man, take my word for this.
Baby, you ask me that
that question every day, or the majority of the time, you headed in the right direction. That's one of that's like Bible ritual.
You need from me.
Anything you need from me today, baby. Oh, I never leave out of this house. If I'm leaving out, I got and before the day started, and she's still, and I'm leaving to go to work. Is what do you need from me today? What do I got? What, baby? What's on my list today? Or what do you need from me? It may not be a to-do list kind of thing. It may be call me later on. Just call me later. She'll say, just call me later on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
$1 million
Something
question.
Like yep.
Is there anything that you need from me today?
Yep.
This question allows, I love it. Is there anything you need from me today?
Yes, exactly.
And I might say, you know what? If you could just make this phone call, or just get on this or check this out. Or you know what? It would be nice if you came home in time where we can sit down and just have dinner. Or it might be I'm not feeling too good. Check in with me later or make this phone call. It might be something simple as if you have children, I need a break from the kids today.
Yes.
Or you know what? I'm just this house. I need some help. The laundry is, but it just it's oh my God. It's just it so much weight goes into that because it allows your partner to really reflect on their needs, and you're making it clear that you want to be there for them.
Exactly.
And it gives them a hope that if they state what they need, that you're going to respond in the affirmative. You're going to really try to make that need right.
Another good way.
That check-in with that $1 million question, I gave that to you. That's free. It's no extra charge for that. You can have that no extra charge.
That's no extra charge. That's free stuff. That's free stuff.
I just gave you $1 million. Is there anything you need from me today?
That's a good one.
Who does not want to hear that?
I know.
Who does not, baby?
Yeah.
How can I help you out today? What can I take off your plate? What do you need from me? It might just be, listen, I need a hug.
Yeah.
I need a hug. There was a couple of mornings, baby. What did I need? I just needed 5. What did I need?
I was on that one.
What did I need?
You need a couple more hugs.
Just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes.
Oh, the $1 million love credit. Oh, thank you.
Yes. So yeah. Yep.
That's a good one.
You should have idea, of course, of the needs, and not just an idea of the needs, but a desire to meet the need.
Yes.
Okay. So, and that goes into what we're talking about. 5 minutes long.
Listen to this. Franny Franny says, when you're married for over 20 plus years, you should have an idea of the needs. Yes, you should know your partner.
You should.
20 years, you should know your partner. And getting to learn and study your partner is
not just an idea.
Is key in that, where I was talking about in that area of being proactive and preemptive
strikes.
I say proactive.
Preemptive strikes.
Preemptive strikes.
You're not yourself
today.
Talk
about them all the time. Yes.
What do you need from me today?
I know this may sound hokey or phony but this is true. expressing appreciation for your spouse or your partner.
Absolutely.
Telling them thank you. Telling them thank you for what they may have done. Or
that might be what the need is. The need might simply be acknowledgement. That might be the need.
Yep.
You know what? Let me just acknowledge all that you've done this week.
All the time.
You've done X, Y, Z. You know, I tell my husband, baby, listen, let me just
told other people that.
I tell other people, I tell my baby, you know what? You've been around here Supermaning this week. You've been Supermaning. I just made up the verb, Supermaning around the house. You know, you've been hitting it. You've been tackling it. You've been going at it. But sometimes the need might just be acknowledgement. Man, I really appreciate you.
You don't know how far
I appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. That sounds like a pat on the knee.
That's it.
Smile.
Hey, Izzy, she says, not at all. These tips can help a relationship to keep going if both parties are willing to give their all.
Absolutely.
And it takes both. It takes both. It really does.
It takes that choice to both of you.
So
that choice to,
something else you can do. So we talked about the check-in. We talked about that question. Is there anything you need from me today? Just turning toward each other, just coming together, turning toward each other. There's something else. And we're going to call this pick up the pennies.
Oh, picking up the pennies.
We're going to call this picking up the pennies. Okay. Pennies add up, right? Why we keep going back to like a bank account and deposits, withdrawals, overdrawn?
I pick up every penny I see. I swear to goodness.
Just the same way that you would pick up, I pick up $1, okay, it's a quarter. Just the same way you would pick that up on the street. Think about every potential moment of connection or engagement as something of value. I just keep coming back to this word value.
Very
Type
good.
value in the comments.
Again?
Value again. Again. Value. Even if it seems something small, like picking up a penny or picking up a quarter or something fleeting, like you said, baby, pennies add up over time.
That's right.
Right? And these might be a little emotional. Oh, you just petty, a little emotional, petty stuff, but pick up those pieces, right? You know what, Franny, you're absolutely right.
What she said?
Because you were in banking. I got 20 years in banking. I started off in banking out of high school. She knows. That's exactly why.
True story.
The value, right?
Yep.
So keep an eye out for these pennies, right? These quarters.
Darren is on. What's up, Darren?
Darren.
What's happening, brother, man?
So keep an eye out for these pennies. They're invitations to connect. They're emotional balls, right? That are thrown out. Catch those pennies.
Catch your penny, pick it. Find a penny, pick it.
Yes, catch those pennies. And so, okay, let's talk about what pennies look like when we're saying catch those pennies or pennies are being thrown.
Talk about what the pennies.
Yeah, what do you think they are? You guys type in the comments. What do you think are some of these little pennies that you can pick up in your relationship? Pennies that are dropped or tossed. What do you think some of those pennies might be? Those pennies add up. These are emotional pennies that are being thrown out. Sometimes to you or just out in the air.
And listen, when I told you, they happen thousands of times a day. You want to tell you some of these,
we got a good one. Compliments.
Compliments are good.
That's a good one.
Compliments, right?
These are times we're talking about turning towards your partner, how you can turn towards your partner, or emotional balls or pennies that your partner may throw out that you need to catch. That's what we're talking about, right? What you need to catch, right? So that's what we're talking about. So some emotional things might be
appreciation. Very good.
Okay, let's think about kind of what we do sometimes, right? What are some pennies that you might throw to me? Or I know what I'll do sometimes. If you're working in the workshop, I'll just come out there and just sit in the workshop.
Yeah. I'll bring me a sandwich.
I'll bring you a sandwich sometimes and a soda. Or I'll just come out there and tell you how awesome you are and how just you're just a man because you're just a man.
Oh,
I'll just come and tell you you bad boy. You bad boy.
Yes.
Right? I do that.
I can tell you some I do it too.
A foot rub.
Foot rub. That's a good one. Spontaneous.
Come on with it, Darren.
No, Darren. What?
Surprises.
Yes.
Appreciation.
Something.
Just saying I appreciate you. That don't cost you nothing.
That don't cost you nothing.
Just to tell somebody I don't know. Some people, you.
That's hard for it to come out of some people.
Why is that? That's
I don't know.
Crazy. Doesn't cost anything.
A smile.
A smile.
A smile.
That's turning toward each other.
Exactly.
Just a smile. Just giving up a smile.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. Yep.
Those are times for emotional connection or your partner seeking connection. If they make eye contact with you, and Darlene does this all the time, she does the googly eye contact.
You swear.
She just battled her eye. Y'all see it? Did y'all see that? Rewind the tape.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you see her bat chat?
No.
That's what she do. Did y'all see that? No. I got it on tape right now. She does that and bats her eyes. That's one of them emotional calls. I know it's either a hug or a kiss, or she wants some affectionate.
I just be looking at you sometimes.
Yeah, but the batting,
because you just look so good. It's like a stallion. Okay, hold on. Where's we at? Where's my notebook? Where's my notes?
But no, right. that was good. That's y'all see it. Just
roses, getting back in touch. Just daring roses, but just daring any simple thing. It could be one. He will pull over and pick a flower that he's probably not supposed to off the side of the road and say, "I saw this flower," and I thought about you. Just the thought, right? That's a way to turn towards your partner. Mm-hmm. You got to keep coming together. Keep coming together. Yep. If you hear your partner sigh, right? Yep. That's a ball that's being thrown out. Like, no, I'm all right. No, but I heard you sigh.
Right.
So do I value? Did we talk about value enough to act on that sigh?
Act on that sigh.
I heard you sigh. I want to know. What was that sigh about? That was a heavy sigh.
If you do, cheat code, you're winning.
That was heavy sigh. Yeah.
If you act on it, you're winning.
They might directly ask for help, or they might directly ask for your attention. Do you give it to them?
Right.
Because that was a ball that was just thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me?
That direct assist, yeah.
Can you help me?
Can you help me?
How do you respond to it? Can you help me? That tells you how much value.
Yeah.
Or baby, can you come here for a minute? Can you come here for a second?
Yes.
Oh, I'm busy. Wait till I finish this. Or again, whatever. That's how do we respond? We turn toward.
Now I'm saying
we turn away or we turn against.
If the Eagles is playing and you call me to come take out the trash, I might have to wait.
First of all, I'm going to be in front of you, in front of the TV, in front of you.
I ain't going to say every time, because if my Eagles is playing
I'm going to be in front of you in front of the TV.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Turn toward. Okay, very good. Turn towards.
Yes.
Saying good morning or good night or simple gestures of turning toward. To stop, we can just pop up and be about our day, but stopping to turn toward just to say good morning or just to say, hey, good night, baby. Good night.
So, good morning and good nights are great times to connect.
That's turning toward. We're talking about how do you turn toward. Yes. Asking for a favor. That's a reach out. That's an opportunity to be there for the other person, right?
Right.
What else? Reading something to you like, hey, listen to this. Hey, listen to this. Or you'll watch a video, something to be funny. Hey, babe, look at this. Look at this.
I always do that. I'll be finding some of the crazy.
Yeah.
You too?
Yeah, sometimes, especially if it's funny. We
connect like that too. Like you'll send me a post or something that you've seen or something that you've seen, a little loving, something. You'll send. That's a connection.
It is.
That's a good connection.
It is.
What are you looking?
That's how
that's how we
turn toward each other.
You're about to bite me or something. What's going on? Please, this is censored television.
Calling your name from the other room is another way of turning toward or reaching out, right? Yes. When you hear that, do you respond? Do you stop what you're doing? Do you come quickly? Or do you just turn away, act like you didn't hear it? Or do you get angry? What? Here you go again. You see, I'm trying to read, or you know what I mean? That's the turning against. You turn toward, you turn away, or you turn against, right?
Asking
Be careful of this. Be careful of this.
That's what came up to my mind. Asking what's wrong if you see your partner looking sad or down. Yeah. Asking if, what's bothering you, or, did you have a bad day at work or something like that. If you notice that they're,
Or go back to the $1 million question. How can I make it better? Darren gives foot rubs.
She called you out, homie.
And he buys roses.
Foot rubs and roses. Way to go, Darren.
Good job, Darren.
That's how you do it, man. Foot rubs and roses.
Good job.
That sounds like a bad body.
Foot rubs and roses.
That sounds like a bad.
That sounds like a good night.
That sounds like a good. Giving emotional support. That's true. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I was just speaking about that.
All right. Okay. This has been fun.
This has been fun. Yes.
Hey, we got to pause for a commercial. Don't leave. Stay with us for the bird seed. We'll be right back.
Give it to us, Chuck. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We've had a good time tonight.
Yes, we want to thank you guys for coming in and joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Feel Good Talk. Mm-hmm. Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, you're always going to go to love-birds.com and get your copy of the LoveByrds story. How the class clown and the class president developed an extraordinary love. As you can see, my book is worked. I've been writing
on it. It's a workbook.
It's a workbook.
I hope that you're filling in the blanks.
And
looking at some things that apply to you.
Yes.
But one more thing I just want to say, we like to stop and acknowledge $1 million question.
Yes.
That's right. That's the $1 million question. I gave it to you free.
It's a free
$1
million.
No extra charge. Okay. So I just want to say,
yes,
we know that everybody is in different places, right? Exactly. So we're not gonna, and we hope it is that all of these relationships will just level up. Continue working on it, right? Yes. Continue striving to be exceptional relationships and exceptional partners to each other. We strive for the A. I want the A at being a wife to Billy Bird. He wants the A at being a husband to me. So we're striving for the A. We want that A. So we ask that $1 million question and we listen and we try to solve it. If we can make each other's life just a little bit easier, isn't that what relationships are all about? Yes. But I don't want to just act like everybody's in the same place, right? Because even emotionally, sometimes, I guess what I want to say is your emotional availability won't always line up neatly with your partner's emotional availability. And that's okay, but there's a way to handle it, right? You never ignore the balls when they're thrown. Right. Don't ignore the balls because what we said, value. The key word was value. We value your relationship. We value our partner. So we don't ignore it, but there's a way to handle it that just says, you know what, I would really love to hear about this. But right now, I can't do it right now, or right now I have to leave for work, or right now I have to handle this. But listen, but you're important to me. Can we talk about it when I finish XYZ? So or can we talk about it later? But catch the ball.
Right.
Don't say, well, I didn't catch it because I was on my way out. No, you stop. I acknowledge that ball was thrown and I caught it.
There you go.
But babe, I'm gonna handle that. I'm gonna handle that tonight. When I get off work. Yes, right. I'm gonna handle it tonight when I get off work. So
find a ball to drop. Yeah. That's the thing. Don't allow the ball to drop.
Yeah.
The more drop balls,
not good.
Yeah. The less yardage you gain.
Okay. The bird seed is simple, and you've already heard me say it a million times. The bird seed today is the relationship hack is a simple act. Turn towards your partner. Turn towards.
That's a great.
Don't turn away.
That's a great one.
Don't turn angry.
I like that.
Turn towards. Catch those emotional balls that are being thrown out, right?
Yep.
And ask, how can I make
your life a little bit better? A little bit easier. A little bit simpler.
Little bit. Little by little.
Control, man.
Don't forget about all those little pennies that are being thrown out. Those emotional pennies.
Catch them pennies, man.
Yeah.
Pennies add up.
All right.
You good?
I'm good.
Very good.
Hey guys, we're the LoveByrds. I'm Darlene Bird.
I'm William Bird.
We're the LoveByrds. We love people. We love love. And we love you.
Join us next week, guys. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us. Hey.